Hi guys, my name is Tessa and I'm going to be doing a massage for Karina today. We're going to be doing a massage for the whole back and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Usually I would start with compressions along the spine, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just go in with the oil to start. And just using nice smooth strokes. Working my way into the shoulders and the neck a little bit. Really, I'm just making sure that there's plenty of oil right now. And I'm going to start working my way down the spine with the heels of my hand. Working my way into these erector muscles. Can be a little bit ticklish sometimes. And into the hips. And working my way back up into the shoulders. And just nice, consistent pressure. And work my way down the spine. And using the outer edges of my hand to work on those erector muscles. And this is my favorite way to work those muscles along the spine. The soft fist, you can use a good bit of pressure. And it's also easier, I think, than just using your hands. And not forgetting about the hips. And I'm also scanning the right and left side, just seeing what might need more attention. And I'm going to start working my way just into this left side and using both of my hands. Moving my hands away from each other, focusing a little bit more on lengthening. And it's really difficult to do deeper work this way, but it's a great way to warm up everything. Just focusing a little bit more on the hip and that outer hip flexor. Just working my way in. Just anything I can do to kind of help free up the muscles in the back. And going in on this right side. So working my way from the erectors into the side joint. And moving my right hand in the opposite direction. And I'm actually going to just work my way into the hips a little bit more and help free up this low back, and just working my way into the outer hip flexors or just above them. This can be a little bit taxing on the joints in the finger, so just listening to my own body and working my way back up into the shoulders. I like to take a lot of time to just warm up everything before I do any sort of forearm or elbow work. And I just need to apply some more oil to my forearms. Right now, I'm just kind of making sure that there's plenty of oil on my forearms. And this can be a really nice way to work the muscles that run along the rib cage and the paraspinals a little bit. And I'm going to start my elbow work. So I'm just gonna run my elbows along these rhomboid muscles and not starting with maximum pressure, just gradually starting to go a little bit deeper. And working my way up the neck and the upper trap, focusing a lot more on the rhomboids and working my way down. And you can go down further along the spine if you're tall enough. I've had a therapist that was really tall go all the way to my low spine. Feel really nice. And I'm going to start working down this left side, and I'm just going to start working my way down with my forearm. Not focusing a whole lot on the paraspinals, but not ignoring them. And I'm going to start to work my way along the glute just briefly, just to encourage that low spine to let go a little bit more. And going in at an angle, not pressing down as much as in. And with my opposite elbow, I'm just going to start to work my way up the spine. You can kind of bring your spine all the way up and around into that levator, or you can stop wherever feels comfortable. Sometimes I'll just make this transition like in the middle of that erector muscle, and I start working my way up with the opposite forearm because I just feel a lot more comfortable working this area in this way. Feels a lot more secure. And sometimes when the erector muscle is really tight, it can get kind of wiggly, and this is just a really secure way to apply a good bit of pressure. And I'm going to start to work with my closer to my elbow, getting in a little bit deeper into the rhomboids. And you can start working your way into the deeper parts of that erector muscle as well. And the scapula is just a little more difficult to access. But not impossible. My favorite way to work the scapula is with trigger point. So once I get more comfortable with how things are feeling, we'll do a little bit of trigger point. And just going back and forth between different muscles, not really being mechanical in my work. Okay. And I like to just kind of take a little break between the deeper work and do something that feels nice. Just using different techniques and also giving myself a little break. And I'm going to go in with this left forearm and just working my way down in the paraspinal a little bit and using my whole forearm against that side body. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and just work my way into the glute briefly. If someone were to complain about like lower back pain, I would spend a lot more time on the glutes. And just briefly encouraging that low back to let go a little more. I'm using a good bit of pressure, but I keep moving just really slowly, not really holding, because this can be a little intense. But it's a great place to do trigger point as well. And with my opposite elbow, I'm just going to start to work my way up the spine. If you have a client that's really ticklish, this can be not the best way to work the erector, but you can bring your elbow all the way around the elevator. Like I said, on the opposite side, I usually like to work the low spine with this elbow, but then like mid-erector, I'll kind of transition into my opposite forearm and start working my way up the erector in a way that feels a lot more secure. And if somebody's ticklish, this usually feels a lot better to your client. And you can apply a good bit of pressure with your forearm without hurting your client. I should say without your client feeling much discomfort. You never want to hurt your client. And just getting into the scapula a little bit later and working my way into the rhomboids. Just working my way. Those little micro movements, starting to work with my elbow a little bit more. And just getting a little bit more detailed with my work. The little micro movements. And it took me a long time to feel that sensitivity in my elbow. But once you start to feel it, it's just a really nice, effective way to work. And I'm going to get into the scapula. I can already feel that Karina's right. The scapula is really contracted and she definitely needs some work here. So I'm just doing a little bit of trigger point and releasing. And when I release, I'm staying on the muscle. I'm not just like bringing my attention away from it. I'm going to start to get a little bit deeper, hold a little bit longer. A lot of therapists will, I'm just going to show you. So you can actually work the scapula by opening up the scapula a little more. And this actually is not my favorite way to work, but a lot of people really like it because it opens up that scapula a little more. But this is my favorite way to work. It's really my favorite way to do trigger point. Just a little bit more. And usually towards the end of the massage, I will, if there's areas that feel like they're a little bit more stubborn, I'll go in with my thumbs, but I'm really conservative with how much I use my thumbs during a session. I might even, if the scapula is feeling really tight, I might dig in with my thumb, do that same type of work. And being sure to end with something that just feels good. And I'm actually going to do just a little bit of, I'm going to stimulate this fascial tissue along the spine. It is just awesome for general increasing mobility, and it's just so good for health of the spine. Sometimes the connective tissue can get kind of sticky, especially if your client doesn't stretch. So this is one of the best ways of just stretching out that connective tissue and getting rid of the stickiness so that the spine is more mobile. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually stacking my hands. If I were to just do it with this hand, I wouldn't have enough pressure to really feel like I was being effective. And yeah, just you can, there's no right or wrong way to do this. You can just go down all the way and then back up all the way. I really like to kind of do a hybrid of that. it. Just ending how I started. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again soon.
If you enjoy these videos, please join us at PsycheTruthPatrons.com for dozens of exclusive videos and premium programs. We have over 1,000 videos you won't find on YouTube, such as modeling and fashion hauls, exclusive massage videos, ASMR, behind the scenes, bloopers, and much more. It's a great way to help us keep the cameras rolling so we can continue making the content you love. Patrons will get 2 to 3 new exclusive videos each week, so I hope you'll consider joining our Patreon family today. Just visit PsycheTruthPatrons.com.